Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Some of you might remember when the iPhone was first released and I recorded a video on 20 reasons why I wasn't going to get an iPhone on the first day that it hit the streets. And then you probably also remember the day that Ponzi got me an iPhone for my birthday. And then you probably remember my unboxing of the iPhone with a minor amount of disdain. And then not long after that, another video on 20 reasons why I love the iPhone. I had been a Windows Mobile user pretty much since 2001. I've been using a variety of, well, at that point, Pocket PC devices because I live largely inside of Outlook. I found that Windows Mobile suited my needs. I was happy with it. I was content. It certainly beat the heck out of Palm's operating system, at least, again, from my perspective. So I wasn't really ready or willing to accept something new. And that almost cost me an experience that I think is absolutely invaluable. So we have a user by the name Major Def, and hopefully he's a nice guy, or she, says, I was wondering what is better for business use, an iPhone or a Windows Mobile-based Pocket PC? I have a Pocket PC and it has served me well. I was just wondering what would be best for business use. Is the iPhone more for media? Now, let me just today, as a matter of fact, I received this. I'm a part of the Sprint Ambassador program, which allows me to test out devices that Sprint uses on their network. This is the HTC Touch, and it is a very small, most likely the smallest Pocket PC or Windows Mobile device I've ever owned. I'm quite familiar with the platform and the software. It seems that they've jam-packed this thing with as much as you could possibly want in terms of features. It records audio, it records video. It's got the ability to flip the screen. You can stream TV through the software, etc., etc. And remember, I used a Windows Mobile device for about 7 years, so I know Windows Mobile, or know it enough. And after using this and stepping through configuration and screens and software on the device, after using it, I kid you not, for 5 minutes, I shook my head and said, I don't know how I ever did this. It was inelegant. It was, the haphazard. The screen, I could see it redraw itself. It just wasn't smooth. More importantly, I'd go into certain applications to browse them, like email, for instance, and I needed to go down. So in typical iPhone fashion, I did that, and nothing happened. I found that pressing the buttons, much like I remember my frustrations with earlier Pocket PC models, Windows Mobile models, there was no real visual feedback. You couldn't tell if you press something, so you'd have to make sure you got it just right. And the iPhone is not just an amazing media device. I would recommend it for business users as well. It is an absolute joy to use. I would trade 3 of these for one of these. 3 Windows Mobile devices for one iPhone. I can't explain it. And it comes down to this, really, and this is what I want to get across to you guys. A lot of people tell me, I'm happy with what I got. I'm fine with what I have. It suits me fine. My needs are taken care of. Well, that's the way I was with the Windows Mobile device. And I would have stayed that way. But this iPhone changed everything for me. Everything. Turned my entire understanding and appreciation for mobile devices upside down. They're not kidding. this does live up to the hype. Now, in terms of business use, I live inside Outlook. I synchronize this just fine. In fact, I don't even use iTunes on my Windows machine that has Outlook. You might remember I talked about Plaxo before. It's a free service that allows you to synchronize your contacts, calendars, tasks, and notes, I believe, across all operating systems. At least with OS X, I can synchronize my contacts and my calendar, and that's all I really wanted on a phone to begin with. Tasks, not so much. My tasks are my inbox. The iPhone connects to Exchange. I'm able to check email through IMAP or through the Exchange implementation on the iPhone. The only argument I've ever heard is that the BlackBerry might be better than the iPhone, but I was never a BlackBerry user, so I wouldn't know. But I can tell you this, I think it would be next to impossible to win me away from what Apple has put in my hands. Ringing endorsement, no one's paying me to say that. I'll be happy to give further tests to HTC, specifically for their touch device, as well as to Sprint for the service that they're providing on it. But I think Windows Mobile, it's not just that the bar has been set higher, it's like a whole new bar has been thrown onto the playing field. And imperfect, but far more perfect than anything else I've ever seen. Now, Wireless Packet, I don't know if you're tuned in right now, listening in, and we're connected by Ventrilo, but you have also owned a handful of Windows Mobile devices and also have an iPhone. I was just curious as to your perspective. Do you agree or disagree with some of the assertions that I've made?
Everything you've said about the iPhone is correct. I've owned a Singular 8125, which was it's HTC. I've owned a Samsung Blackjack. I've owned a BlackBerry 8700C, all within the last maybe year and a half. I got the iPhone 2 weeks after it came out. I haven't seen anything do email like the iPhone. I love the fact that I could actually see full. I see the email how I see it on my PC. It's not just text. Like on the BlackBerry, it's just text. I could, if someone embeds a photo on the BlackBerry, like an email, I can't see it, but on the iPhone, I could see it. And I had the same issue with the Samsung Blackjack. Just email didn't look the same, and I think with the iPhone, they finally got it right. You could see the email how it's supposed to be seen, even on a mobile device. It should have been done years ago.
And attachments. I mean, that's the thing that blew me away. Someone sent me the resume in a Word doc format, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to see this on my iPhone. It looked beautiful on my iPhone. The doc attachment looked amazing. It looked better on an Apple device than it ever did on a Microsoft device. I kid you not. So anybody who's curious, as to at least my opinion, on whether or not the iPhone is good for quote-unquote business, yeah, 110%, yeah. And I even talked to you about browsing the web on this thing. Forget about it. I'm sorry, that was really bad. That was really bad. You can probably do forget about it better than I can, Lenny. Wireless Packet.
Oh, forget about it.
Yeah, see. Anyway, so yeah, just my opinions. I say yes, go iPhone. Windows Mobile, yeah, it's okay. It's a good runner-up of sorts. Anyway, what are your opinions on the business applications for the iPhone, or whether the iPhone is even a good phone to get? Now, I'm only interested if you actually have one, or if you really, really want one. Not so much if you're a naysayer. That's really not what it's about. He's asking the differences between the two. So if you've got experience with both, then we need to hear your opinions. But if you only had experience with one or the other, it's not going to be as valid, unless, of course, you want one or the other. So anyway, leave a follow-up comment, your thoughts, or you can email me, chris@pirillo.com, specifically if you've been through this before as well, and if you've come to the same or different conclusions that I have. Just always interested in hearing what you guys have to say out there. And of course, you're also welcome to swing by our chat room, where we're typically talking tech 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that quite simply can be found at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.